Good morning, guys. Very good morning, everyone. Hope you can see me. Good morning. Well, I can see you. That means you can see me, but I cannot hear myself. So you have to confirm whether you're able to hear me or not. Good morning. Yesterday's class link already shared. Yesterday's class link already shared in the group. I think I'm sharing in your groups. So there are 5 groups which I'm knowing, and one more group is something by AD. So total 6 groups are there. And I'm sharing in those 6 groups. Whatever comes to my mind, I'm sharing, please. Whatever. Yeah. Thank you. Whatever comes to my mind, I'm sharing that, right? So I believe that you are part of the group, and if I am not part of your group, then you have to please tell me so that I can at least add myself in that group, or ask these people to add me in that group. Is there anyone who is in which I am not a part of? In the 6th group, well, by what name it is? Because I don't see any 6th group. I can only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there is something called AD. So is there anyone in which I am not a part of? Is there anyone where I am not a part of? Just one, can you see my name in the group participants? Because it is a serious issue, then I have to really look back and I have to see what all I have shared earlier. So Gosalites gift at the rate 6. No, I don't think so. I'm having in that Gosalites at the rate 6. In rest of the group, I am sharing. So please, you can just write so that Gosalites at the rate 6. Now I will add myself. I will ask these people to add me into that. Any other? Is there any at the rate 7? Gosalites at the rate 7 also? Okay, yeah, I'm not in Gosalites at the rate 6. Yeah. Is there any at the rate 7 also? Very little members are there today. Yeah, I'm not in the 6th group. Yeah, I came to know because these people are writing here. Dear children, why very little people are there today? Till yesterday, we have more than 250. And today they are in Saturday mood, weekend mood. Weekend mood. Okay, dear children, can you please tell me what was the last thing that we have discussed yesterday? The last point, change of timings. Which timing, beta? Yeah, change of timings, okay. From evening to morning, like that. So, yeah, okay. Please tell me, cardiac cycle. So cardiac cycle and valve and heart sounds and all we have done, okay. Now, I'll ask one question to you. Question number 1 is, what is the reason for heart sound 1? The reason for heart sound 1, I'll write S1 for it. First of all, please understand that the heart sounds are created due to closure of the valve and not due to opening of the valve. Due to closure of the valve and not due to opening of the valve. Come on. Thank you. Sudden closure of AV valves, and that's a perfect answer. Perfect answer. Let me just see how many of you can answer. Come on. It's better more and more people answer. Sudden closure of AV valves. Perfect answer. Closure of AV valves. Okay, I'll take it. Sudden closure of AV valves. Good, good. More and more people, if they have answered, it is good. That is the reason for heart sound 1, and we also call heart sound 1 as the lub sound. as the lub sound. Question number 2. Question number 2. What is the duration, average duration of a cardiac cycle? Normal duration or the average duration of a cardiac cycle? It is 0.8 seconds. Very good. It is 0.8 seconds. Perfect. Question number 3. If the pulse rate of a person is 75 per minute, if the pulse rate of a person is 75 per minute, how many cardiac cycles are completed in 1 minute? If the pulse rate of a person is 75 per minute, so pulse rate, you can also check the pulse rate by the radial pulse, the pulse rate that you can feel in the wrist just behind your thumb. You can feel in the wrist just behind your thumb. You can touch and you can feel the pulse rate. And the pulse rate is 75 per minute, suppose. I don't know your pulse rate, I can say my pulse rate. So how many cardiac cycles are completed in 1 minute? Answer is very good. Very good. It is 75. Very, very good. Question number 4. What causes heart sound 2? What causes heart sound 2? What causes heart sound 2? Yeah, it is dub. Very good. I mean, yeah, so the reason for that, closure of semilunar valves. Very good. Sudden closure of semilunar valves. This is about the AV valves. And this is semilunar valves. Very good. Okay. Question number 5. I am going to ask you question 7 questions. Okay. So 6 and 3 more questions to go. Okay. Next one. What phase in cardiac cycle follows after the, or what phase follows the atrial systole? What happens in the atria after atrial systole? Come on, very easy. What happens in the atria after atrial systole? In the atria, there is atrial diastole. Very good. This is not a question at all. And what follows after that? What happens in the ventricle after atrial systole? What happens in the ventricle after atrial? Very good, very good. The blood, this is a very good answer, I believe. Yeah. Ventricular systole, ventricular systole. Yes, very good. Very good. State true or false? State true or false? Blood keeps on filling in the atria for 0.7 seconds in a cardiac cycle of 0.8 seconds. If a cardiac cycle is of 0.8 seconds, blood keep on filling in the atria for 0.7 seconds, but blood only fills in the ventricle for about 0.5 seconds. Blood fills in the ventricle only for about 0.5 seconds, but blood keeps on filling in the atria for about 0.7 seconds in a cardiac cycle. Is it true or false? It is absolutely true. It is absolutely true, because you know that the atrial diastole is 0.7 seconds, and for this whole duration there will be the filling phase. It is a filling phase, and then you have the ventricular diastole, which is of 0.5 seconds, and for 0.5 seconds also there will be ventricular filling. Ventricular filling. Another question: what is the duration between heart sound 1 and heart sound 2? You can put your ear on the chest, or you can use a stethoscope. If your parents have a stethoscope, or anyone in the family has a stethoscope, you can use the stethoscope, put the bell of it on the chest, and you can hear the heart sounds. What is the duration between heart sound 1 and heart sound 2? What is the duration between heart sound 1 and heart sound 2? Yes, now many good answers are coming. Some people are saying 0.2. Why 0.2, bacha? 0.2 क्यों होगा? Why it is 0.2? Now you know that heart sound 1 can be heard here, heart sound 2 can be heard here. Okay, and this is 0.1 second, 0.2 0.3 second, 0.4 second. This is normally when we make the cardiac cycle: atrial systole, ventricular systole, and joint diastole. Very easily, we can write the cardiac cycle like this, okay? And heart sound 1 is heard here, and heart sound 2 is heard here. So the duration between sound 1 and sound 2 is this duration 0.3. So the duration between heart sound 1 and heart sound 2 is 0.3 seconds. The duration between heart sound 1 and heart sound 2 is 0.3 seconds. Anyone who has joined in that group and any problem in that group, they can please come and join the main group. I think you will be, shared 2 of the IDs, so you can join the other ID if you have. Or if you don't have any problem, no problem. I don't have any problem. It is good. So both, there are 2 laptops here, and in both the laptops, people have joined. So as I can feel that some issues are there. If you find any issue, you can join the other one. Bandi Narendra, better when you are already here and that group is working, that then why you want to join another one? Dear children, so I hope you got the answer. Can I ask you, what is the time duration between dup and lub? How much time is elapsed between dup and lub? Dup and lub, dup and lub, dup and lub. No. What you are giving is lub and dup, lub and dup, lub dup, lub dup, lub dup. Sound 1, sound 2, sound 1, sound 2. I asked you, sound 2, sound 1, sound 2, sound 1. Yes, what is the duration between dup and lub? This is dup, this is dup, and this is lub. This is lub. Yes, please. The duration is 0.4 plus 0.1 is equal to 0.5. So between dup and lub, the duration is 0.5 second. Duration is 0.5 second. Okay. So these are the very basic things that can be asked, and I hope if you have understood, it is wonderful. It is wonderful because in the weekend there will be a test wherein some basic questions will come from this also. So all those days when we have discussed from each and every day, little part will come. Right. So don't worry if you have not, as many people have not joined the first one, we'll try to give more questions from the remaining classes. Okay. So I think many people are writing that the first class they did not attend. So don't worry. So if anything which will come from the first class, believe me, I would have told you in the subsequent classes. So not to worry about. So yes, the duration between dup and lub, sound 2 and sound 1 is 0.5 second. Okay. Dear children, hope you have a pretty good idea about this cardiac cycle. As it is just coming to my mind, I'll just share one more point with you. The lub is the sound, the lub is a longer duration sound. It's a longer duration sound. And this is a sound with a lower frequency. It's a lower frequency sound. So it is not that shrill. It's a lower frequency. It's a lower frequency sound. It's a longer in duration, but lower in frequency. Longer in duration, but lower in frequency. For example, if I divide this into so I can see the lub sound. The lub is a longer duration sound. Followed by dup, which is a shorter duration sound. Dup is a shorter duration sound. And this duration is actually, this duration is 0.3 second. So what is on this coordinate? There is frequency. Frequency. And what is here is time. Duration, time. Frequency, that means it is clearly visible that the dub sound, the sound 2, this is sound 2, and this is sound 1. Sound 1. Sound 1 is a longer duration but lesser in frequency, whereas sound 2 is of higher frequency but shorter in duration. Okay, right here, dub is shorter in duration but it is higher in frequency. Higher in frequency. Please note this very important point. Dear children, hope you have a pretty good idea about, and what was planned in my mind was to discuss with you some aspects of the brain, okay? So let me just discuss with you control and coordination. Control and coordination. Are you guys ready with this topic, control and coordination? You have to really tighten your seat belts, because if you just become little loose, you may miss some or the other things, okay? So control and coordination, how the control and coordination is done in our body. There are two systems which are dealing with this control and coordination. We know it's the neural system. The neural system, we can also call it as a nervous system. And one is the, we can say endocrine system. Endocrine system. Endocrine system. This neural means which is controlled by the nervous system, okay? So we can also call it as the nervous system. Endocrine means what is being secreted inside. Endocrine, okay? So basically this system is controlled by hormones. Hormones, okay? So it is a hormonal system, or the hormones which are secreted by the glands, and that is actually controlling, okay? How they are two different, okay? These are two different, in a sense, I'll write here. If it is controlled by hormones, okay? Here it is controlled by the nerve signals, or I can call them as nerve impulses. Nerve impulses, I can call them as nerve impulses, and these are the hormones. And what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers. Hormones are chemical messengers. They carry the message in the form of chemicals. So they are chemicals and they carry the message. So these are the two systems in our body which are doing the control and coordination. So one is a neural control and one is a chemical control. In class 11th, okay, you will find this in class 11th. So both are in class 11th. Class 11th of NCERT, okay. So these are the last two chapters. These are the last two chapters. I'm not discussing every part of these two chapters here, but just the part that one should know, so that in rest of the topics, you can at least pick the rest of the topics with ease. So it is just a bridge course. I'm just bridging you, okay? Right, neural system and endocrine system. Now, neural system is actually a point-to-point control. So it is a point-to-point control. Point-to-point. It's going from point to point, okay? For example, any part in the nervous system, I'll write nervous system. Any part of the nervous system, and any organ in the body, a particular organ. So from here, the signals are carried to here. Signals are carried to here. Or maybe from the receptors. Maybe from the receptors in the body, signals are carried to the nervous system. You understand? So this is how the direction, forget about what I'm drawing right now, just focus on the arrow. So nervous system is controlling the motor organs, and the receptors are sending the signal to the nervous system. So you can very well see it's a point-to-point control. Point-to-point control. These type of organs, I'll call them effector organs. Effector organs. Effector organs. Those who bring about any effect. Effector organs, like muscles. Example, muscles. Muscles are effector organs. Whereas endocrine system is a more diffuse system. What is the ethos of the endocrine system? Let us understand. Endocrine system, there is a gland. There is a gland. A gland is a collection of these cells. It is a gland. And this gland is releasing a chemical. This chemical is there. And this chemical is released into the blood. So it is into the blood. It is in the bloodstream. Into the bloodstream. And wherever this blood is going, this chemical is actually affecting that organ. So I'll make it like this. It is from one point to many. It is from one point to many. And these chemicals are carrying the signals. However, not every chemical is meant for every organ. I mean to say, for example, if there are 10 organs for which this yellow colored chemical will be, only those 10 organs will be affected. But this will pass on into the blood. So this is the bloodstream. It's a bloodstream. Bloodstream. And through this bloodstream, it will go. So it's a very diffuse system. It's a very diffuse system. And therefore, this one is slower. It's a slower. This one is a very rapid system. It's a very rapid system. You can just imagine it to be like the electric current. The moment I switch on the switch, I switch on my switch for this, let us say, board or this TV or this light. And the moment I just push it, the moment, even though my finger has not detached from that, even before that, this has been powered on. The switches can power on the devices because electric current is moving very fast and which is giving them power. Here also, electric currents are moving. These nerve impulses are in the form of electric signals. Okay, so these are actually electric. These are electric signals or electric currents. Okay, electric currents. Not that faster as there in these in the electricity, but yes, of course, very, very fast as we can think of. But this gland is releasing it into the blood, and then it's a gland. These glands are characterized by no tube. So there is no duct system, no duct system. No tube is there which is releasing the secretion into that tube, and then through that it is going to some place. For example, we have a salivary gland. We all have salivary glands. We all have. And salivary glands secrete saliva, okay? And where are these salivary glands? Are they inside the mouth? No, exactly. They are around the mouth. They are around the mouth, okay? So where are these salivary glands? So one group of salivary glands is right here, just in front of the pinna, right? Just behind the cheek here, this. And one group of the salivary gland is here, just below this mandible. And one group of the salivary gland is below the tongue. But immediately, okay, when we think of any food, you'll find that they secrete, okay, and that secretion from these glands come in the buccal cavity. How it has happened? Because tubes are there, these tubes are called ducts. Ducts are there which bring the secretion into the buccal cavity, into the oral cavity. All these glands have duct. We have our sweat glands, sebaceous glands. For example, as I'm coming from sun, outside, and it's hot outside, and you'll find that these sweat glands, they are secreting. The sweat glands are inside the skin, and from there the sweat comes through a tiny tube and released on the surface. So we can call them, because they are sending outside, they are sending the secretion outside. We can call these glands as exocrine glands. What we can call? Exocrine glands. And these glands, they don't have any duct. All these hormones which are releasing, hormone-releasing glands, they don't have a duct. And we call these glands as endocrine. Crine is secretion. Endo means inside, within. Crine means secretion. Endo means within, secretion within, right? And because they secrete within, obviously they have to carry it. The secretions has to go to the effector organ, and they go to the effector organ through the medium called blood. In our body, virtually 99.9% of the organs, they are being, the blood is supplied to these organs. Very few places in the body which does not have blood supply, direct blood supply, but otherwise all the body organs, tissues are vascular. You understand the point? Did you get that? Okay. Meanwhile, I'll wipe off my sweat. My question to you is, do you have any idea of any organ in the body or any part of the organ which does not get blood supply? Any one name? Do you have any name, any one name wherein hair, okay, hair don't get blood supply? Eye, epithelial tissue, galaxy, yes, epithelial tissue, entire epithelial tissue, very good, epithelial tissue, cartilage, I'm really impressed by hearing cartilage, very good, epithelial tissue, brain, who said brain? Okay, brain has a blood supply, but then in that tissue, it is transformed into another fluid. But if you just stop the blood supply, then you can very well imagine what can happen. But nails don't get the blood supply, and no, appendix does get a blood supply. Bones, bones get blood supply. Teeth, we can say teeth, yes. And cornea, as most of you have written cornea, and really that's a good answer, that cornea is devoid of blood supply. Cartilage is devoid of blood supply. Well, eyelash or any hair is hair. It is not having blood supply, whether the hair on the head or on the eyelids. Yes, eyelashes, I do agree. I'm taking hair does not have a blood supply as such. Okay, but it does not mean that they are non-living. Don't misunderstand that they are non-living. They are not non-living, but they don't have a blood supply, right? Cornea is a beautiful example here, because that's the reason we can transplant cornea with ease. We can take cornea from anyone's dead body and we can transplant it to a living body. You know that when we say eye transplantation, it is actually corneal transplantation, and from today onwards, no one of my students will say it is eye transplantation. You all will say it is corneal transplantation. Will you? It is corneal transplantation. Done? Are you guys with me? Okay. So you have that idea. I just asked you one thing. I wiped out my sweat meanwhile, and I'll just take you to a journey of this part, because even that is somewhat we can imagine, but there is difficulty in understanding the neural system. I'm taking you to the neural system. Dear children, the neural system is not a single system as such. The neural system, we can divide it into like different parts. For example, we can divide the neural system into two different parts. We can say it is a central nervous system, CNS, and we can call it as the peripheral nervous system, PNS. Central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Central, CNS means central nervous system. It is central, and NS for nervous system, and P for peripheral, PERIPHERAL. peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system. What central nervous system has? Central nervous system comprised of two big organs. One is the brain, yes, brain, and one is another organ is spinal cord. Brain, a very delicate organ. Spinal cord, again, equally delicate spinal cord. In the peripheral nervous system, what all we have? We have got receptors. We have got nerves. We have got receptors. We have got nerves. NCERT has just missed the word receptors when it has described the peripheral nervous system. Well, I'm not making you learn right now the NCERT. I'm just making you understand. It is a bridge course, so I'm just making you understand so that your concept develop very well. Receptors are also part of the peripheral because they are not inside the CNS. Receptors, for example, eyes. In the eyes, we have retina, it's a receptor. In the ear, we have organ of Corti, it's a receptor. In the skin, we have thousands of receptors. In the nose, we have got Schneiderian membrane, which is the olfactory membrane, which is a receptor, and many nerves. So nerves are, so many nerves are there. We have central, we have the cranial nerves, we have the spinal nerves, okay. We have the afferent nerves, we have the efferent nerves, okay. So all these names are there, you might have heard about. Those who are coming out of the cranium, they are called cranial, and those who are coming out of the spinal cord, they are called spinal nerves. This brain and spinal cord, the brain is actually emboxed into a bony cage. There is a bony cover, a bony box into which brain is placed, and that's the reason it is being, it is prevented. And this cranium, this bone cage or the box of the bone is known as cranium. Cranium. There are many holes or foramina. See, when we say foramen means hole or any aperture. The plural of foramen is foramina. So there are many foramina in the cranium, the brain box, and through them, the things are coming out. For example, the biggest thing that comes out is the spinal cord, and then the other things come out as the cranial nerves. Well, the spinal cord is also surrounded by a bony box. Any idea? Any idea about this flexible bony box inside which spinal cord is there? Can you please tell me? Yes, it is vertebral column. It is vertebral column. A column made by the vertebrae, these vertebrae lying one over the other, they make a column, and inside that column, there is a long passage into which the spinal cord is placed. So brain and spinal cord, these are the part of the central nervous system. In the peripheral nervous system, we have the receptors. I have given you the example of receptors like the retina, in the eyes, like organ of Corti in the ear. These are examples of receptors. And nerves, okay. So nerves, for example, I gave you the cranial nerves and the spinal nerves and the spinal nerves. We have got dash pairs of cranial nerves and dash pairs of spinal nerves. Humans have dash pairs of cranial nerves and dash pairs of spinal nerves. Very good. 12 and 31, perfect answer, very good answer. 12 pairs of cranial and 31 pairs. Remember that they are in pairs, 31 pairs of spinal nerves, okay? Are you guys with me? I'm going little slow so that these things can settle in your brain. Dear children, we have other categorizations of these nerves, okay? And what exactly a nerve is. A nerve is a bunch of axons, okay? It's a bunch of axons is a nerve, is a nerve. A nerve is a bunch or a collection of axons. It's a bunch of axons. A nerve is a bunch of axons. To make it clear, please understand that the nervous system is, it comprises of the nervous tissue. Nervous system comprises of nervous tissue. The two main type of cells in the nervous tissue, the two main type of cells are the neurons, and the other type are the glial cells. I hope you might have heard this name, glial cells. More than 50% of the volume is occupied by the glial cells. More than 50% of the volume of this tissue is occupied by the glial cells. The word glial has been taken from glue. The glue means which help us to keep these things together, glue together. We glue them. The neurons are glued by these glial cells. They are the non-nervous cells. They are non-neuronal. They don't generate any nerve impulse. The nerve impulse as such, the nerve signal is actually generated by these neurons, right? So neurons are the main cell, which we can say, but they are the supporting cells. And without the supporting cells, these nerve cells cannot survive. A neuron is made up of, I hope so everyone has this idea about that. A neuron is made up of two main parts. It has got the cell body and these extensions, or we can call them as the protoplasmic extensions. So what you see here, these are the protoplasmic extensions. Protoplasmic extensions of the cell body. Now, one of the protoplasmic extension is quite long. One of the protoplasmic extension is quite long. As you can see this one, it's quite long. So we have terms here. We call the one which is the long one as the axon, because only one is long. It is axon, and all the other one can be called as dendrites. These have got branches like these, and we call them dendrites. All these are, so they are quite smaller than the longest one, and these are called dendrites, okay? Better we can call them dendrites. These are dendrites. And this is an axon. And this actually is the cell body. This is the main cell body. Main cell body, also called cyton. So cyton, axon, main cell body, also called cyton. In the diagram, you might have seen that it is being covered by myelin sheath. You might have seen in the pictures, in the diagrams, they have shown it like this, but it is not that 100% of the neurons have this myelin sheath. Many neurons are without this myelin sheath. Many neurons are without this myelin sheath. It is just like an insulator. You know that wires can also exist without the insulator. It is just like an insulator. And you know that just like the electrical wires, there are many wires which we use. They are most of them have insulators, but some of them, for example, the high tension wires that you see, which are running over your head, they don't have any, but then still they are wires. And same way in the body also, we have got many axons which are not having any myelin sheath. So let me just name them so that you will not get confused when you see a picture once again. This is myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. This is a long one axon. These are the dendrites. And we'll do the details some other time, because this is so easy for you to get it. But what is difficult is to just imagine about how to understand, how to read the nervous system for the NEET UG. Dear children, this is a neuron, cell body, and the axon, cell body and the axon. And when many axons, they form a bunch. When many of them form a bunch, for example, there are many of these cell bodies are collected and their axons are collected like this. You can see these axons are collected. So this bunch that you see, but this bunch is known as a nerve. What is this? This is a collection of cell body, cyton. And what is this? This is axon, bunch of axons. Okay, so this is actually a nerve. Okay, however, just a concept building for you, beta. Let's go to this page. It's for concept building. When we have discussed this, I think let us make the concepts very clear. We have got the cell body, the main parts. We have got the cell body of a neuron, and we have got the axons of the neuron. Okay, so any collection of it, any collection or bunch, any collection of cell body or a bunch, what shall we call them? Actually, their names depend upon where they are present. For example, we are talking about whether they are present inside the inside the central nervous system or outside the central nervous system in the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so it depends where we are studying. For example, the group of axons. Okay, the group of axons is a nerve in the peripheral nervous system. It is a nerve in the peripheral nervous system. However, the same axons group is known as a tract. It is called a tract. Inside the central nervous system. So inside the central nervous system, a group of axons is called a tract, but it is only called a nerve in the peripheral nervous system. Dear children, even the cell bodies can also form a collection and a bunch or a collection. The cell body, collection of cell bodies in the peripheral nervous system is known as a ganglion, and the collection of these cell bodies inside the central nervous system is known as a nucleus. It is known as a nucleus. Inside it, the central nervous system, it is known as a nucleus. Dear children, please note down this important point. The terminology, so nerves is always used in the peripheral nervous system. Ganglion is always used in the peripheral nervous system. The plural of ganglion is ganglia. So ganglia is plural. Ganglia is plural. The nucleus, nuclei, plural. Tract become tracts and nerve become nerves. Tract is simply tract. Tracts, plural. And nerve become nerves, plural. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? You have to give me one. You have to give me one information, dear children. Yesterday's class, I think there is it was a slip of tongue happened when I said that blood moved from low pressure to high pressure. Is it really so? Please confirm. At least 2 to 3 people can confirm, because one student, and she pointed out nicely, she has given that message just immediately after the class, that, sir, isn't it high to low pressure or low to high pressure? I said high to low pressure. Then I thought, why she's saying like that? So I just recalled probably it was a slip of tongue. Okay. So yes, it is. Did I say that? It is from low to high pressure. Did I say that? Okay. Okay. Please pardon me. Please pardon me, beta. This is high to low pressure. Whether air in the body or blood in the body, they move from high pressure to low pressure. Whether air in the body, or we can say blood in the body, they always move from high to low pressure. This is the reason immediately after that, in most of the group in which I am part of, I think group number 6 I am not part of, but otherwise all the group I just gave a this erratum. I just gave the erratum, high to low pressure. I just, Neha is saying you said correctly that high to low pressure. Does both osmosis and diffusion occur in the body? Osmosis and diffusion, why not? Yes, both occurs. Osmosis is diffusion of water. Diffusion of water is nothing but osmosis. Okay, we'll talk about that. That's a different thing. My point is high to low pressure. Please understand, high pressure to low pressure. Do not get confused between higher concentration to lower concentration. No, it's a different thing. I'm talking about the pressure, right? So wherever the pressure is high to the pressure is low, the blood is moving. In the same way, air also, wherever the pressure is high to the pressure of low, air is moving. Air has this nature, even outside the body, around us, in the atmosphere, around us. Air move from the region of high pressure to the region of low pressure. So in a place, if a low pressure zone is created, there are winds because air comes running to this place because of the low pressure zone. You know that, you have done that in geography. Okay. Anyway, so I'm not discussing that geography, but I'm correcting because as most of you are saying, I did that. One person is saying I did not do, but in any case, even I did or did not do, please understand high to low pressure. I'm correcting it, high to low pressure. Okay. And the student who did that, she was, I think, Vahini or Varshini. She just gave me a message, and I told her that I'll take your name in the class tomorrow. And yes, very good. She pointed very fast. Okay. It is Varshini. Yeah, K Varshini. Very good, very good. Okay, very good. Dear children, let's come back to the prior discussion. We are talking about these nerves, and so you have got a pretty good idea. What I can do, we'll take it point by point, as if this is opened in front of you. You have clicked, double-clicked the nervous system. CNS has opened and PNS has opened. You wanted to know what is C, you know it is central nervous system. You wanted to know what is P, it is peripheral nervous system. Okay, done. Then you have double-clicked the central nervous system. You came to know that there are two organs, which is brain and spinal cord. And all of us know where are these brain and spinal cord. But here, these are the bony boxes, okay? So they are made up of bones. Even the vertebral column is made up of bones that surround the spinal cord and protect the spinal cord. So it is a case for the brain and spinal cord. When we double click the peripheral nervous system, we came across that there are two organs, two structures, receptors and nerves. When we try to read what are receptors, for example, the receptors which help us to sense the surrounding, which help us to sense any change in the surrounding, any stimulus. What is stimulus? Any change in the surrounding is called a stimulus. Stimulus. What is a stimulus? Any change in surrounding is called a stimulus. Done. And nerves, when you just double clicked it, cranial and spinal, these two names come. Now, what you have to do, you have to prepare this topic. So again, you went to this part. You'll take one by one, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You double click the brain. Let us double click the brain. You have double clicked the brain. First thing that comes when you double click the brain is this. The first thing that comes is, no matter it is surrounded by bone, but even inside the bone, right? So we have the bone, but even inside the bone, there are other membranes that cover it. There are other membranes that, so this is a bone, other membranes that cover it, and these membranes are the outermost one, this is the dura mater. Then you have got the next to it is some space. Next to it is arytenoid. Know what's the meaning of arytenoid? What is arachnus? Which animal is arachnus? And the innermost is the pia mater. The pia mater is adhered to the bone, to the brain surface. This is the pia mater. Pia mater, okay, adhered to the brain surface. Then you have what is called the I hope you can see the difference. So what you see, this is a darker matter inside the pia mater, and just inside what you see, this is the, you have taken the section of it. I know I am asking questions, but still I am not seeing the board. No, I'll go to the board. I'm asking question, but I want to see I can only see when I turn myself. So what you see, this one is some idea we got. Okay, children. So yes, I asked you a question. What is arachnus? Which animal is? Yes, it is spider. Very good. Spider. Very good. Spider. What is enteric nervous system? Is it present? Nikita, we discussed na beta. Enteric nervous system we discussed in the first 2 days. We discussed that enteric nervous system, which is present in the one of the layers of the alimentary canal. And na beta, you remember? You were there in the first class. So this is the bone, okay, the cranial bone. This is cranial bone. Cranial bone. This is dura mater. This is arytenoid. And this green one, this is pia mater. This is pia mater. Make sense? Pia mater, the soft mother. What is pia means? Pia means soft. What is mater means? Is it matter or mater? Come on, is it matter or mater? Is it matter or it is mater? Come on. It is mater. Very good. It's a mater. Very good. It's not matter. It is not matter. It is not matter. It's much higher than what matter. It is mater. What is mater? What is mater means? Come on, mater. What is mater means? Nikita, sorry beta. Mater. How many of you are reading Sanskrit? How many of you are doing Sanskrit? Come on, Sanskrit. Anyone who knows Sanskrit? Yes, Aishwarya Prasad. You are right. It is, yes. Do you know what is this? Can you read this? What is this? What is this word in Sanskrit means? It means mother. Very good. It means mother. The mater is a word for mother. Matra, mother. Okay, so matra. When it went to Europe and Western people, they used to call it mater. The French people, they call it mater, Peter. Pitre is the father, so the French call them Peter. Mater, Peter. they write the name. So this is pia means soft. Pia means soft. And mater means mother. Okay, I'll write with a different color. Pia means soft. It means soft. Mater means mother. Soft mother. Arytenoid, buju, spider web, spider-like because it looks like a spider web, spider-like. Dura. What is dura means? Dura. What does dura means? Durable, dura means, come on guys, dura. The word durable comes from dura. It is tough, and mater means mother, tough mother. It is a soft mother, pia mater, tough mother, soft mother, buju. Tough mother, buju, soft mother. Spider web. Literally, it looks like a spider web. If I open the body, if I open this, and every one of you will see this when you go to the first year of your medical college. In the first year of the medical college, you will be doing this at the end of this of the year, when you will be dissecting the brain. When you just cut off this cranial bone, inside you will find this arytenoid. Arytenoid, it's look like the spider web. So guys, I hope you understand these are the covering membranes, surrounding membranes. And what is this? You see, this is the gray matter. This is the gray matter. Gray matter. Now see, this is matter. This is matter, and this is the white matter. This is the white matter. This is matter, but that was mater, mater, dura mater, arytenoid, pia mater. Okay, so I hope you understand. And why we are calling them as mater? Because just like the mother, just like the mother, the bone is like the father, right? The bone, the cranial bone is like the father, and inside it is like a mother. Just like we also do. We also care like a mother and take responsibility like a father. In the same way, the body is also designed. So these membranes, which they take care like a mother, and the outer one, tough one, which is at the front line of any problem, the front line of any problem, which is protecting from the outer forces, that is like a father. So how the people, when anatomists have called it, have named it, they have named it in that way. So bone is the father, and these are care like a mother, care like a mother. And these membranes, 1, 2, 3, collectively we call them meninges. These are called meninges. These membranes are called meninges. These membranes are called meninges. I hope you have heard ever you have heard about meningitis. Okay, so meningitis is the inflammation of these meninges. The three meninges in the body, which are dura mater, arytenoid, and pia mater. The pia mater is adhered to the surface of the brain, and just above the pia mater, this is space is called subarachnoid space. This space is called subarachnoid space. Literally, there is a space. Literally, there is a space, and this is known as the. This space is called the subdural space. This space is called the subdural space. This is called the subdural space. Actually, there is no epidural. Epidural is very, very less, so we can ignore the epidural part. We can ignore the epidural part. I wanted to make it thicker also, so we can do like this. Okay. So this is the dura. So this is the bone, and just below is the dura. Cranial bone, I have made it so. Then there is dura, and below the dura is the subdural space. Then there is something called arytenoid, and below the arytenoid is the subarachnoid space. Then we have the pia mater, and pia mater is adhered to the surface of the brain, and to the surface of the bone is the dura mater. The dura mater is adhered to the surface of the bone. You have to make this picture in the mind very, very clearly. The subarachnoid space, I'll put here conditions apply, a very, very important point I'm going to discuss with you. The subarachnoid space, okay? In the subarachnoid space, there is a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. A fluid is present which is known as cerebrospinal fluid. A fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. cerebrospinal fluid is filled, is present. In that space, a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid, right? This is called the CSF. The CSF, it is nothing but the interstitial fluid of the brain. It is the interstitial fluid of the brain, okay? So it is actually the elixir for the brain, the one that supplies nutrients to the brain, that one that takes all the waste from the brain. This supplies nutrients and oxygen to the brain. This supplies nutrients and oxygen from the brain, and this keeps on circulating. It is not that it is fixed. It keeps on circulating, and it is getting exchanged with the blood. So blood and this CSF, they are always in contact. They're always in transaction. So blood and the CSF are always in transaction. I hope you can make out this gray matter. I have tried to make some color so that it doesn't look totally black to you, and then below it is a white matter, okay? Now, what you see there in the gray matter, and this gray matter is actually a collection of the nerve cell bodies. The nerve cell bodies are making the gray matter, and guys, the axons are making the white matter. And why it is looking white? Why white? Why it is white? Why white? Because the axons are, surrounded by myelin, which is white in color, comma, which is white in color, which is white in color. So first of all, you have to understand that how the tissue is all about, simply by saying that what function it does. So you should understand that it's a gray matter where the cell bodies are located, cell bodies of the neurons, When I say cell bodies, I mean cell bodies of the neurons. And the other one, the axons part, are mainly in the. So how they are being done? They are being done somewhat like this. Try to understand this, okay? How they are being done? They are being done somewhat like this. So these are the cell bodies, and you know that their axons are myelinated. These are the cell bodies, because it is not a lump as such. So we don't call it a nucleus. Don't call it a nucleus. Nucleus is simply a lump. This is a whole layer. It is a whole layer of the cell bodies and their white axons, and their white axons are here. So their white axons are below it. All of their axons are actually collected at this place. Okay. Cell bodies are in the gray matter, and their white myelinated axons are in the white matter. Okay. The myelin is white in color. Are all these points clear? Let us quickly have a look of what all we have done now. Till here we did about the heart sound. We know that the second heart sound is a sharper sound. I think this is the third one. So let's start with the first one. So these are some questions I just, for the ice breaking, I did that. Now these are, again, this is part of the questions. I was giving you the answers only. I was explaining you why the duration between dub and lub is 0.5 seconds, okay? Then I just compared the two heart sounds. So this one is the lub sound. How I remember the lub is a longer one. Whenever I write lub, I write it long. So I remember it is a longer sound, and this is dub, it's a shorter sound. After that, then we start with the control and coordination. In control and coordination, this is in the first, first book, that is NCERT part 1, which is the NCERT of class 11th. Then we have done this. that control and coordination is done by two systems in the body, neural system and endocrine system. Neural system, it controls with the help of the nerve signals, also called the nerve impulse, which are electrical in nature, and endocrine system, it controls with the help of hormones, which are also called the chemical messengers. Okay, hormones are produced by these glands. They are called the endocrine glands. These are ductless glands. They don't have ducts. Okay, so I'll call them, they are ductless glands. What I can call them, they are ductless. Ductless, they don't have ducts. Endocrine glands or ductless glands, so they are just releasing the secretion into the blood, and it is going to every organ. And if the organ has got the receptor, if the organ has got the receptor for this hormone, if it has got a receptor for this hormone, for example, this picture shows that this organ or this particular cell, this has a receptor. This cell has a receptor. So only this hormone will bind to the receptor, and there will be some action being done in this cell, right? You understand? So this is how it is diffused. It is thrown in the blood, and then blood is going to every organ, and there how it is coming in contact with the right cell or the target cell. It is the right cell or the target cell. The target cell is the one which has got the hormone receptor. It has the hormone receptor. It has got the hormone receptor. Okay, done. Then now comparing it to the neural system. In the neural system, it's a point-to-point connections, as we have shown from the nervous system. From this point to the organ directly connected, and these are the cells, the neurons. Okay, and mainly the signal is carried by their long fiber, the long fiber or this axon, okay, cell body, and this axon, and this is the direction of the signal, and or from the receptor directly to the nervous system. So it's a very rapid system, and this is a slower system. It's a slower system. Okay. After that, the neural system can be further divided into two parts: central nervous system, neural or nervous, both same thing, or we can call it peripheral or the peripheral. Peripheral means which is outside the center is peripheral. Peripheral literally means paridhi. Paridhi means not in the center or outside the center. Okay, on the surface literally means outside the center or on the surface, the meaning of peripheral. So what is not central here is peripheral. In the central nervous system, two organs are there, brain and spinal cord. In the peripheral nervous system, we have got receptors and nerves that make up the peripheral nervous system. The nerves can be cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Human beings have got 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and we have 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Okay, the brain is encaged inside a bony cage, a bony box called cranium, and the spinal cord is covered or surrounded by vertebral column. After that, now this picture shows the different layers. If I can make a section of the outermost part, I'm just taking the head and taking a section. So outermost, I can see that there is a cranial bone, and then there are three meninges, three membranes, and just under these membranes, the brain is lying. So it is not, the brain is not in contact with the bone. The brain is not touching with the bone. In fact, there is a layer which is called subarytenoid space. And my dear children, can you tell me what is filled in the subarytenoid space? Yes, it is CSF. Bacha, mic. Tejaswini, mic is disturbing. Tejaswini, beta, is the mic problem? Yes, I take the answer. It is cerebrospinal fluid. Wonderful. As all of you are answering, I'm thinking that if your concentration that you are having right now is maintained for these 2 years, class 11th and class 12th, I can guarantee you, I, Anurag Verma, you can record, and we are also recording, you can also record. You can record my video on your mobile. You can take a screen recording also. I am telling you, if your concentration, the way you are picking the things, go along like you are doing it now, if it is carried, I can guarantee you, you are first 50, within the top 50 members of the India in AIR 1 to AIR 50. I don't want to boast too much that you will be all within 10. But I want to, just make some room for me also. So I'm saying to you, first 50 members are here. At least like the people, like around 8 to 10 members are here, which are in top 50. And it is not difficult. It is not difficult. In 2019, right? In 2019, you have so many members which are from these states. Let me tell you. Many members are there from our classes, right? From one center in Goshala, there were around 12 members who were, currently studying in AIIMS Delhi. 12 or 18, sorry, 18 members. 18 members are currently studying in AIIMS Delhi, and you understand, for AIIMS Delhi, what ranks we require. From only one center, where the entire team was teaching, from that center in 2019. Okay. So take my words. If your concentration goes like this, record my words. You can take any, I can sign on the board. If your concentration go like this, you will be in the top 50 members of our country. And many of you can be in the top 10. Okay. So my dear, because I cannot say top 1, top 2, top 3. It's difficult. You don't know how many other members are there. We cannot say if anyone else has done better than you, or if you are also 720, others are also 720, then other matters, like age and all other things matter. Suppose you also score 720, other member also score. So then also both cannot be ranked 1. So that's why I'm just, I am covering my face in that way. I'm just telling you top 50, believe me. Dear children, CSF is filled in the subarachnoid space. Perfect. My point to you is this any benefit to us? Is that the brain is actually floating in a fluid called CSF? Is that any benefit to us? Hint, suppose. No, that is a benefit, that it is providing nutrients, it is providing oxygen. That is a benefit. Perfect. Okay. Another point is, Chinna, okay. Make sure your mic is switched off. Muted. Okay. So yeah, I was asking about the CSF. Suppose, beta, if a person fall down, suppose many a times we all fall down. When we were kids, we fall down too often. Every day, 3-4 falls were when people they play sports, they fall down. Now, when we are falling down, okay, don't you think that this brain is actually hitting the bone, or it is a counter coup? It is called a counter coup. Suppose if I fall down, then the brain will hit this part. You will learn about this in forensic medicine, how the brain will hit this part if I just fall down. God forbid, God forbid. So, and you know about the head injuries, it still happens. But then in normal falling down, why we don't get head injuries? And the answer is this. This fluid is there, which is actually, the brain is floating in the fluid. The normal weight of the brain is about 1200 grams. 1 kilo, 200 grams. 1 kilo or 1.2 kilograms, I can say 1.2 kilograms is the normal weight of the brain. Okay. And yes, mechanical shocks. Perfect. Okay. Right. Yes, it is a little bigger. You can take it as 1.2 to 1.4. 1.2 to 1.4 is the normal weight of the brain. But you know what is the effective weight of the brain? The effective weight of the brain is around some 3 kilograms. And that effective weight, why the weight reduces? Because of the buoyancy, because of the buoyancy provided by the fluid, right? The effective weight of the brain is reduced, right? It is not 1.2 to 1.4, right? Okay, now next point is, I can see someone writing, yeah. Yes, you are right. There is no problem. Yes, you are right. You are right that women, don't say girls. I say that this data is of adult people. Women have got 1.2 kilogram on an average, and males have got 1.4 kilogram on an average. I take that. Okay. What happens? Why you are writing so many of V's? What happened to you? Who is this? Who has kept this V pressing? Who is this person? My point to you is, if the weight of the brain is more in man and lesser in women, and we know that this is our calculative power, this is our processing power, this is our all the central, all the power is in the size, more bigger the size, the better the brain is, as we have seen in our ancestors. In the ancestors, the brain, the cranial size keep on increasing, and that's how the brain size also increase. Now my question is, by considering this data that the women, they have got on an average 1.2 kilogram brain weight, and men on an average have 1.4 kilogram, can we think that the men are little more intelligent than women? Can we consider that males are little more intelligent than women? Perfect answer. Perfect. So keep the jokes aside. Yes, your answer is correct. No, we cannot say that man, because they have got 200 grams more weight of the brain on an average. I'm talking about the average. Average weight of the brain is more than that of the women, that the man is more intelligent. God has not made like this. Please understand. Who has got a bigger brain, elephant or man? Elephant. Elephant has got a bigger brain. Can we consider elephant more intelligent than man? Then how come a man of a small size can control such a big elephant? So, because the average size of the man is more, the body built average size of a man is more than women. That is the reason the brain size is little bigger. And because the average size of the women is smaller than man, the whole build I'm talking about, that is the reason the brain is also having this difference. I hope you understand. So yes, you are right. You said right that it is, you said girls, but let us take it male and female. In the males, human males or man, average size of the brain is 1.4 kilogram. And in the women, it is 1.2 kilogram. Perfect answer, but that does not make that women are less intelligent. It is not, because even the overall size of the man is... Can you please tell me who has got a higher heart rate? Can I say that women have got a higher heart rate than men? Can I say that average heart rate of women is higher than men? Let me check you. Can I say that average? Yes, please tell me. Yes, you are right. The average heart rate of women is more than that of man. Very good. Average heart. Now you will get the answer. Tell me. You just touched a different thing. It's not a joke. So tell me. Now, point is, who has got a higher heart rate? A newly born infant or a grown-up man? A newly born infant or a grown-up man? Who has got a higher heart rate? Come on. A newly born infant. A newly born infant has a higher heart rate. You know that. A newly born infant has a higher heart rate. A child of 1 year of age has got 120 heartbeat rate, and that is considered normal for them. So what we consider 0.8 seconds is for the adults, and that is an average. That's why I'm, rather than saying it normal, I'm saying it is average. What is 0.8 second is for the average adult size person. But a newly born has a very high heart rate. I'm talking about the even a 1-year-old. It has got a higher heart rate. Around 120 seems to be average in them, normal in them, which reduces to 75. So can you relate something? Can you have some relation here? Okay, another data. A mouse has got a mouse has got heart rate nearly 500 beats per minute. A mouse has got heart rate nearly 500 beats per minute. Average heart rate of an adult man is 75 beats per minute. An elephant, average heart rate of an elephant is 27 beats per minute. The average heart rate of blue whale is 25 beats per minute. Average heart rate of a blue whale is 25 beats per minute. Dear children, blue whale 25, elephant 27. Okay, adult man 7. Man, I am saying just adult human being 75 beats per minute. As we are going smaller and smaller in size, also the heart rate getting more and more. In a mouse, it is, I told you, 500 beats per minute. In a mouse, it is 500 beats per minute. There is a bird, canary, a singing bird, canary, a small bird, it's a small singing bird, such a small size, you know. How much is the heart rate in this small bird? 1000 beats per minute. In this small bird, heart rate is 1000 beats per minute. So yes, it is related to the body size. In my next class, please remind me that, sir, please give us some light, to give us some idea why the smaller size they have higher heart rate. Why the smaller size they have got higher heart rate. Right now, I'll just take you to this part. Hope, children, this much part is clear to everyone out there. Okay, and why white? Because it is surrounded by myelin, and myelin is glistening white in color. Dear children, a nervous tissue is made up of two types of cells, neurons, or these nerve cells, as you can see that design, and the glial cells. The glial cells are of various sizes, right? The glial cells, these are the microglial cells, okay? And some are astrocytes, some are astrocytes. So these are different shape of the glial cell, different shapes. More than 50% of the volume of the nervous tissue is made by the glial cells. Okay, so I hope you understand. We have not discussed about the glial cells. They don't have any ability to generate the nerve impulse. The nerve impulse is actually by these neurons. The neuron has got two main parts. This part is a cell body cyton, and this is a long fiber called axon. Yes, nerve fiber is nothing but nerve, the axon. So when we say nerve fiber, when we say nerve fiber, actually we are meaning axon. So axon can also be called as nerve fiber. Dear children, this is a concept building collection or bunch of cell bodies, can be called ganglion in the peripheral nervous system, can be called nucleus in the central nervous system. Axon, a bunch of axon in the peripheral nervous system can be called a nerve, and the same bunch inside the CNS can be called a tract. Okay, so that's today's lecture. As I can see that still we have a little time. How do we think that? If we have little time, I can continue further. No, I think time is over. What is the syllabus of the tomorrow's examination? No, I don't know. I don't know Sanskrit. Okay, I don't know Sanskrit, but few names I know. And how I can write Sanskrit, because Hindi script is Devanagari, and that is the same script in Sanskrit. Therefore, if you say any word to me, I can write entire thing because the script is same. Okay. Now, dear children, the syllabus for the test is whatever we have done in these days. All what we have done in these days, that is the syllabus of the test. Don't take it attention. It is not attention. What to be done? Just go through what all you have done. Just go through, right? Just go through the class notes that you have written. I always ask you to write the class notes. And also, like these, I think on the second, third day onwards, we are also sharing the QR code to you. We are sharing the QR code. Right now also I'm sharing the QR code, and just like you guys are doing, please share this to me also. Please share this to me also, so that I can share it in the group. So if someone does not know how to scan it, they can also do it. Make sense? Are you guys done? Kaushik will discuss about that later on, about the heart size, because about the examination, how to write the examination and all the information in very detailed, very nicely will be given in the group. Don't worry about that. You will be given that information. Physics class, as the normal time of the physics class. God bless you, beta. Bye bye. Take care. Yeah, we'll talk about this body weight on the next class. Bye bye. Take care. God bless you.